Everyone, sorry for the delay in getting another video out. If you're following these videos in chronological order, it's been a little bit. I actually kind of fucked up my leg about 3.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right before Adele and Riley's birthday. Thought it was broken. It was not. It was ligament injuries. And then right as I was getting out of the boot, I ended up getting sick. Thought it was COVID. It was not, thankfully. So I apologize for the delay in getting any videos out recently. So here I am. Just kind of wanted to bring everyone up to speed on some different things and just kind of talk in general about mental health and PTSD with the first responders and specifically suicides. There's been a lot. There's been a lot going on, specifically in New England. We've had a lot, and there are resources out there. There are, not so much during the summer, but there are coming up late summer into the fall, quite a few mental health focused symposiums and conferences coming up. One of which is September 8th and 9th down in Woburn, Massachusetts, in which I am speaking the first day on the 8th. I am the first speaker the first day. So if you're in the New England area and you want to check that out, it is put on by Sean Thomas and First Responder Conferences and co-hosted with the Middlesex County Sheriff's Office. There is a fee to attend, but if you're with a department, I don't know, maybe you can get that figured out, but should be a very good, it's got a good lineup of speakers. Obviously I'll be there, so it's already worth attending. But these conferences are few and far between right now. I mean, there's more than people are aware about there, but there's still not a lot. So if you have the opportunity to go to this one in September, please do. I'm also working on another speaking engagement in October in Mass, around the 20th, I believe, which is being put together by Forge VFR and I believe the DOC. And I forget the exact location, but that's again around the 20th. And as we get closer, I'll put more stuff up on that if it's open for attendance. Again, there's also a possibility I will be out in, and this is all preliminary stuff, but possibly out in San Antonio the end of October for another conference, which is more of a resource conference for mental health for first responders. Looking forward to that. Hopefully that'll happen just because I've never been to San Antonio. And we do have family out there, friends out there. So hopefully that'll happen. And then again, just to remind everyone, I, along with the First Responder Coaching and the New Hampshire Fire Academy, specifically Deb Pendergrass, are co-hosting, putting together a collaboration of a symposium on November 4th up at the Fire Academy in New Hampshire in Concord. It will be a one-day. We are, I think we're beyond preliminary with it. We're setting stuff up. We've got the speakers lined up, 6 speakers. Potentially one of the presentations will be a joint presentation between 2 speakers. We don't know yet, but we'll have real life experiences being talked about. We'll have a doctor giving a medical background and some facts and stuff. We'll have spouses speaking, and we will also have a addiction focused presentation with this. It will be an all-day event. There will be breakfast and lunch served. This will be free to first responders and other attendees. Again, it will be at the Academy in their auditorium, and I believe it holds like 150. So somewhere 140 to 160 will be allowed in. And then we're going to potentially be doing quarterly ones after that, starting in January or February, whenever we deem the start dates. Probably January, so we can do January, April, so on. So looking forward to all that. Some other updates. They are with the documentary we filmed with some of you out there back in March. Again, I have to be kind of lucid with the details, but we are in the editing phase. They are doing some incredible work. I haven't been able to see much of it, if any, really, just some kind of screenshots, but it's going to be a pretty powerful film. They are editing it. Again, the hope is to get it out, film festivals, indie things, and then hopefully a streaming app. I can't give you specific dates or times, but hopefully this fall. Regards to the book, I am working with an editor, like I have said in the past, and put on my posts. I actually have a phone call scheduled the next day after I film this video, actually, with my editor, because it's a lot of work, and I am not an author by trade. I am a buckethead, as all of you know. So as much as I've been an instructor since I was 19 years old, I've never written a book. And having done so, and now being tasked with taking 600 pages, condensing it down to probably whatever 75 to 85,000 words is, which is like 320 pages, and kind of trying to take all of this stuff, which I did not write in chronological order. For those of you out there who have written books, I know some of you who watch my videos have written books. Writing a book to begin with is a hell of a task. It's when I started, it was not my intention. It was journal entries, and when it became a book, and I started realizing that I had to kind of start writing it as a book. It became a job. I enjoyed it. It was a job I loved. But now that we're kind of at a point where it's like, hey, you got to take all this and you got to kind of introduce characters, and we got to more chronologically sync this so the loser doesn't, the reader doesn't lose themselves in the reading, because it's easy to do, because I just kind of like blah, it's kind of threw up verbal diarrhea, as you will. I don't know, the facts of my life, all of them, and it's almost created more work for myself, but I guess the nice part is I get to go through now with a clear mind, instead of getting a lot of these events out and a lot of these parts of my life out for the first time. I've gone through and I've already looked over this entire book 3 times. So now going through and now doing like an edit to put things in the correct order, will I'll be a little more clear-minded to do it. So that's where we're at with that. So my hope is to get it into some sort of book form by year's end, and I'm being probably generous with that, just because of how much work is left. But it's only middle of July, so hopes, right? Fingers crossed. Thoughts and prayers for pushing forward with this, and hopefully we'll be able to get it out so you guys can, benefit from what's in this book, which is really the whole point of why I wrote it. Is to just, be transparent, be vulnerable, and show people that, it's okay to not be okay, and to try to heal from everything that a lot of us have been through. So that's all of that. To kind of move, segue into the next big portion here of what this video is going to be more about, and a lot of all of what I've already said has to do with is the mental health, and the stigma going on right now, and a lot of the suicides. There's been a lot. It's a hurting world we're living in. I don't have all the answers. I honestly, as many of you who follow me on social media and even here on the YouTube videos and whatnot, I just took a 3-week break myself. And, I sit here and I put up posts and I put up videos, and I constantly say, hey, we're human too, as, first responders and whatnot. We're human too. It's okay to not be okay. And, we have feelings. And sometimes even I forget that I do, in fact, have to take time to myself. And I do, in fact, hurt. And I will always have PTSD. And despite what some people like to put out there as a cure-all for PTSD, there is no cure-all. There's healing from it, but there is no cure. There is no permanent fix which will put PTSD completely out of your brain. There isn't. It's an injury that can heal, but to a certain point. And a lot of it is on our shoulders as the people who have it, in order to continue to heal and to continue to push forward and not allow all those symptoms, triggers, and all the other parts of it to continue to affect our daily lives. But we live in a hurting world, and every day I'm seeing or hearing, or someone's reaching out to me and telling me about something that's happening regarding, PTSD, suicide, or, mental health or mental wellness. And I actually just talked to a gentleman today. I'm going to be very vague so I don't put him on the spot, but someone I've worked with over the years, which could be any number of thousand of people, who is in a position to try to make a change. He's a little younger than me, and he's private EMS guy. So the redheaded stepchildren of first responder world, of course. And he's trying to make a change, a great change. He's trying to bring in support, and whether it's specifically peer support or critical incident stress management, he's trying to better his brothers and his sisters, his co-workers, admin. And he reached out for some advice and some knowledge, and we're hopefully going to collaborate on something, and hopefully I can help him out and he can help out those he works with in his region, both not just through his private EMS organization, but the fire and police and other EMS that he works with. And then that's what it's all about, folks, is helping each other. This isn't just about, oh no, I'm good, I handle my stuff good, and a lot of people do. But maybe if you do, you can share that wealth with others that are struggling to, which is why I do what I do. And not everyone can do what I do, and I get that. But there are people out there like this gentleman I talked to today who seems to have his stuff pretty well wrapped, and has a healthy support system, and he's trying to push that forward. He's trying to pay it forward by helping other people in his with who he works with. And I strongly encourage that. Those who have a support system, show how you do survive the first responder lifestyle, how you and your family survive it, how you and your coworkers survive, how you and your partner survive it, whatever it is, you and your department, your association, your peer support group, whatever it may be. We need to get more of this out there. And it's long past due to make this happen. And the nice thing, one of the nice things, I should say, about what I do, one of the million things I do, is you get to meet a lot of really great people, and you get to meet a lot of very strong people. And I've been privy to a lot of these conversations, and there are a lot of really great people out there trying to make a difference in the first responder world, in regards to PTSD, and talking about it and support and all this. And we're starting to see, thanks to, and I'm going to give him a shout out right now, Brian Harkins, putting myself out there and talking to politicians, and in Massachusetts talking to one of the candidates for lieutenant governor. We're starting to see politicians starting to pay attention to what we're saying. And it's not happening everywhere. It's not, I have friends out in Pennsylvania, George, this is for you, who have gotten legislation passed to support and protect first responders with PTSD. You hear about these things, they are out there, people are making changes, and some politicians are paying attention. So I strongly encourage anyone, and we're doing it up here in New Hampshire, where, I'm working with the State House as much as I can, which anyone who knows politics knows that it works even slower than hospital stuff. So, what takes, a year in the regular world could take 5 in the political world. So it's arduous and it's painful at times, but you got to have patience, and it's worth every step you do, every push you make to better the lives of other first responders and families and non-first responders when it comes to mental health is worth it. And so if you have the contacts, it's worth doing it, because we need to do this. It's got to start, and a lot of it has to start at the top, in order to get things and resources in place and in front of people appropriately. So these departments, these agencies, these teams, these associations, whatever it is, unions, have it ready to go, so members are always have access to it. So that's kind of my spiel on that. And one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is the human factor here. And I wanted to talk, a lot of you have reached out in the last 2.5, 3 weeks that I've kind of taken a break. I haven't really been doing a lot on Facebook up until the last couple of days, and I've been taking a breather. I've had a lot of realizations in the last little bit, we'll say. So I kind of wanted to discuss the human factor here. And one thing a lot of us first responders and, especially veterans, we like to forget is that we are human. We think we're superhuman, we think we're invincible, we think we have to be those things. And at the end of the day, folks, we can't be those things. We have to be human. And if we don't acknowledge our human side and we don't take care of us, as in, I don't take care of me, like the oxygen mask in the plane thing, it falls down if you don't put yours on first. I know we all would be like, oh no, I'm going to help the old lady next to me or whatever. If we don't take care of ourselves, we're no good to anyone else. And I have been seeing this more and more and having these conversations with more and more people who are like, Jesus, man, I need to, I've got to take care of me. And we have to take care of ourselves. And the more of us that start taking care of ourselves, and the more of us that start showing that we're taking care of ourselves, the more this is going to take hold, and the more people are going to be able to start taking care of themselves. And that's why I heal publicly. And I hear it all the time. Yeah, I don't know how you put all that out there. It's because I've lost literally everything in my life, up to and almost including my own life, because of this. So that's why I do what I do, because at this point, there's nothing that me sharing can take away from me. If anything, it can just gift me with more. And that is exactly what it has done. It has gifted me with a circle of friends, and contacts and people I can depend on that I didn't have before. And it allowed me to enter a world that honestly I never thought I'd be part of. And that's why I heal publicly. That's why several of us that do this heal publicly, so other people find the courage to heal privately, because we don't all need to heal publicly. So that's kind of that in a nutshell. I've had sort of a come to Jesus moment the last 3 weeks, and I got pretty dark. There's been a lot of stuff. My wife and my youngest daughter's birthday is always a pretty big trigger, and this year it was apparently more so, and I wasn't prepared for it, and I should have been. This isn't my first rodeo with my stuff, and because I let my guard down, because I felt superhuman instead of being very cognizant of everything and staying aware, I went down a very dark spiral. And thanks to my wife and some very good friends, I was able to get out of that spiral. But if I didn't have those people, I wouldn't be making this video. I can tell you that right now. And so we have to remain vigilant, all of us, and not just with ourselves, but our friends, our family, our coworkers, our brothers, our sisters, everything. We need to start talking about this more. We're losing a lot of people just out by me, folks. And I don't live in the most populated part of the country in the Northeast. We're not, and just in my area, we've lost a lot of folks. And, it's not just suicide. But you read between the lines on a lot of things. Anyone under the age of 55 who's dying of some sort of heart disease, who's a first responder, what do you think that's from? It's from stress. All right. My doctor's been telling me since I was 35, I got to knock off what I'm doing and better my stress management, or it's going to kill me. And he's not wrong. You see it all the time. Look at the NIOSH reports for the line of duty deaths that are out there. It's all public information. Guys aren't dying. Men and women aren't dying by fire, really. Not like we used to. If you look at them, a lot of them are car accidents and stuff. But if you look at them, a very large portion of cardiac disease, heart attacks, dead, woke up, there's guys in the shift woke up, found them dead in the bunk. Active duty deaths. There's been a bunch of those where the person was very young and died from some sort of cardiac complication. Cancer is a big one. But there's a lot of factors from the job that are taking us out, guys. And we got to get better at this. And if we can manage our stress and our wellness and just talk about this, not be ashamed of it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Think about what we do for work. Think about it. I was watching a video today from New York City. Now, I'm going to wrap up with this very graphic video of a motorcycle. Some of you may have seen this. I think it was in Queens. It was a motorcycle accident, a car versus motorcycle. The motorcycle was on fire in the middle of the intersection, and the driver of the motorcycle was DOA about 10 feet away. And as the person with the camera went by him, the person's leg was filleted, to say the least, at the knee. And their head was basically just out of the pavement. And that's just one call. That's just one call. And a lot of us have had numerous ones like that in one shift. And we sit here and we're like, no, we're good. No, you're not. You're not. It's okay if it's like, yeah, it's part of the job, but let's talk about it. We have to start processing these things better. We're killing our careers. We're taking the longevity out. People aren't applying, and we're just killing our own. We're eating our young, essentially. And now we have a generation of, and I mean no disrespect, but quote unquote, a lot of people feel that the generation currently, so under 30, are a softer generation. And that's not incorrect, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But a lot of these folks are getting on the job and not sticking around after so many of these, because they realize that a lot of the departments that they are part of are not supportive of trying to help them work through these things, which there is absolutely a need to work through these things. And, you know, when I got on in 96, it was, we didn't deal with it. I remember talking about a call I did, and I was handed a beer. I started getting emotional about it. And the guys I was with, we were not at the firehouse. We were sitting around a non-department area, and I was handed a beer, and we changed the subject. And that is how we used to handle it. And that in a lot of areas, that's still how we handle it. And I'm telling you, folks, it doesn't get rid of it. It doesn't that's not processing it. And it will come back and bite you in the ass. And there are guys that I associate with now, whether it's through phone, whether it's in person, whether it's through Facebook only, whatever it is, that are a lot older than me, that are from a different generation, who are now starting to speak up about this shit and talking about what it was like in the 70s, 20 years before I got on, who are now talking about this, guys in the military. We got to start dealing with this. We have to start taking care of each other. We're better than this. All of us are. And I say that because we all do a thankless job. We all signed up. A lot of us volunteered. You know, military, you signed that blank check. Some of those who did volunteer work in the fire service and EMS, it's thankless. The least we can do is take care of each other in this job when we go to these horrific scenes time and time again, and process them. Be proactive. Get things in place before all these bad calls happen. And I understand that the things are already happening, but have these things in place. So maybe we're having peer support teams in place before the big one comes in, or the MCI, or the mass shooting these days, or the terrorism, or whatever it may be. Maybe we have these things in place so members know that, okay, I'm going to do this. It's going to suck. I may die. I may not die, but I'm going to see people die. But you know something, when it's over, I'm going to have my brothers and sisters, my chiefs, my administrators, whatever, and we're going to talk this out. We're going to sort it out. If I need help, I'm going to get it. I know this is going to happen, and I'm going to process it, and I'm going to move on in my career. And we need to do this for the next generation, generation after that, our kids, their kids, all that bullshit. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Longer video, almost 25 minutes. I don't care anymore. It seems to be the longer videos some of you guys like to listen to. A lot of you apparently have been listening to these while you drive around, which is kind of cool and kind of makes me feel good. I'm going to try to do more of these. I keep saying that. I'm not lying to you. I do keep trying to do more of these. I'm going to do some more. Hopefully this week. Be safe. Guys, my phone's always on. My email, all that stuff is pretty much public information. Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn Messenger, Instagram, Twitter, which really isn't used anymore. Twitter sucks. And then the YouTube. Just reach out. Shoot me ideas, shoot me comments. I'm always here to help. I can give you information. I have a 3-page list of resources across the country if you guys need those. Hit me up. Stay safe. Love you all.